Okay, so I'm headed to my nutrition class, and of course I'm late. Um, hey, love bugs. So I'm back. I just wanted to give an update. Okay. Everybody hate who we just call them fans though. In love with the money, I ain't never letting go. And I get high with my baby. I just love the mall, I'm getting fly with my baby, yeah. And I get robbed. Well, let me cut my music off. I'm at work, y'all. My little lovely office. Roll Tide, University of Alabama all day. Um, but so I wanted to give an update on this pre-op liquid diet. It is atrocious. So I've watched like several YouTube videos. Of course, we all have. That's probably why you ended up here. On the liquid diet and just on like VSG. And like I heard people talk about like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. But like literally I did not know they meant like this is almost like hell. That's what it feels like. So I started my diet on 11/29, so yesterday, and I did good all day at work. I think the challenging part was when I got home. So one word of advice I would say, if you're going to do this diet, meal prep for your family, and so you don't have to be around food, you don't have to cook, or go ahead and budget takeout for that week, because I think the hardest part is cooking and not sampling the food. And so I did cheat yesterday, which I kind of felt bad about, but I only ate the skin off some chicken. So, I mean, I can deal with that. But I didn't think, I'm a strict dieter. And so normally if I like start something, I can stick to it for a while because I'll put my mind to it and I'll tell my husband, and then he'll be like, you about to cheat? You about to do this? So I always have to try to prove him wrong. So I don't cheat and I kind of stick to it. But yeah, I did do that last night. Today I've been doing good. I had a protein shake and I made some coffee. Now that I think about it, it's still in the Keurig in my office. So I need to go get that. But I'm going to put a protein shake in that as well. Premier Protein. I had some yogurt. I haven't been drinking much water because I feel like I'm taking in so many liquids. I forget that I'm not drinking water already. And so I need to be more intentional about that. I do have like this water bottle. So if you can see it, I think it's, let's see, 750 milliliters. So I try to drink this at least like once a day. But I haven't even been doing that because I feel like yesterday and today I was drinking so many liquids that I kind of forgot that I wasn't drinking water. So yeah, that was I'm kind of rambling now, but that was kind of the first word of advice I would give is like, go ahead and meal prep for your family. Another thing I think I would say that would have helped me is really finding like a soup that I like before I started the pre-op diet. So I have my little, let me grab it. My little soup thing here for work. It's lovely. And so this is what I've been putting my soup in or whatever. But I wish I would have, like I tried cream of chicken. It was just too much. It was like too rich for me. And so I couldn't really deal with that. And so then, what else did I try? I tried chicken noodle soup. So what I did was poured off the noodles, so like kind of strained it. And then took some of that, and that was just still a little bit much for me, but it got me through the day yesterday. So I don't know what I'm going to try today. I may try the chicken noodle soup again, just to kind of put something on my stomach. But I think another thing, so the third thing, I don't know, what did I mention? Number 2? I don't know, whichever one. The next thing would be go ahead and get Tylenol, because you're likely to have a headache. And if you're almost about to have surgery, like I couldn't take like Motrin or anything for the 10 days before surgery. And so like my surgery is December the 6th and it's currently November the 30th. And so I can't have Motrin, ibuprofen. And so guess what I have at home? Motrin and ibuprofen. And so I think it's Motrin. It's Aleve, Advil, and all of those things. They have a name, but I just can't think of it. And so I wish I would have gotten Tylenol and been prepared, because I think the reason I cheated, or the reason that I'm tempted to cheat, is because of the headache. So it's kind of like coming off caffeine. Like if you have never like not been addicted to caffeine, which I'm not addicted to caffeine, but I hear people talk about like the headache that you get. And so I think it's due to like the low carb intake and just wanting to eat, like being frustrated. And so, and I haven't mentioned this before, but like I'm an avid believer in Jesus Christ. And so I've really had to like get my scriptures going. This is a book that I'm reading now by Stormy, and it's amazing. And so literally I have been reading these scriptures when I get hungry and just really leaning on my faith. Some people may not be a believer of Jesus Christ. Some people may have other beliefs, but if you do have a faith, I say depend on that, because I think a lot of our eating is a mind thing and we don't think about it. So this stage has really helped me realize like I eat just because like I have nutrients. Like I don't have, so I've drunk like one of these today, had a protein shake. Like I'm not hungry. Like there's no reason I should be hungry. I've eaten 2 things of yogurt, but it's like my mind is telling me that I'm hungry, and like I refuse to let the enemy have control over my mind and my body. And I decree and declare that every day, but I never really thought about that when it comes to food. And so this process has really shown me like, man, like it's a war. It's a spiritual warfare of like gaining control and having control over your mind. And so a lot of people don't tie food to bondage, but it is. It's a type of bondage. Like me having a headache just speaks to like saying I can't do without this, and I need this, I need this, I need this. And I tell people all the time, like being an addict, addicted to drugs, or having a family member that's addicted to drugs, I can understand that. I'm not addicted to drugs, but I'm addicted to food. And so if you look at how many times like you've tried to go on a diet, I've tried to go on a diet, people around you have tried to go on a diet, and then they cheat. There's no difference than a drug addict doing without drugs for 2 weeks, but then going back to use again. And so it goes back to, like I said, a chemical imbalance for one, and just sometimes genetics play a role. So I always have a compassion on people that are going through those type of things. And so this whole process has made me really realize like, girl, you got an issue. You need to figure it out and get it together. And so I'm also reading this book because I'm telling you, y'all, this, my husband was like, oh, you fasting? Like, he called me playing a prank of like, oh, I got laid off today. And I was like, okay, baby, don't worry. God will make a way. Like, it's straight. Like, I'm not concerned. And he was like, girl, I like that talk. He was like, not eating, you going on that fast, and it's got you right spiritually, don't it? And I was like, yeah, probably so. And what I told him was like, I'm not going to let a situation define me or define my reaction. I will define by the words that I decree the situation. And so that's just how I feel now. So, and I think part of that is not eating. Like, that's why I said, I think there's a spiritual component to food as well, and how we abuse food. I think it's God put it here for an intended purpose, but oftentimes we find ourselves abusing it. So this whole liquid diet has kind of made me realize that. But this is another book that I'm reading. I actually got it at the thrift store. So, and I hope you can see that. And so I'm really just like trying to renew my mind before the surgery, but also get through this phase. Let's see, I'm trying to think of things that other things that I wish I would have known before I started the liquid diet. I don't know. I think the fact that I was so, like, you'll be motivated in the beginning, but then your motivation goes away. Like, you're like, oh yeah, like I'm excited, I can do this, I got all my groceries and all of that. And I'll also insert a clip of what I purchased for my liquid diet. But you're like all excited, like going grocery shopping, and then you get home, it's like buying a new car. Like when you first get it, it's like, oh yeah, this clean, like I'm about to ride, like it's look good. And then after a few weeks or months, it get dirty, the kids start spilling stuff, and it's just like, oh, here's another car. So that's kind of how the liquid diet is. Like the first 2 minutes you're excited, like, oh yeah, I just drank my first yogurt, and then it's like, this it? Like, I need some food. And so it's not fun. Like, it's not fun. And so you do have the initial excitement, but then you do get like hungry, and then you do start having